Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Acting Director Lyons. Thank you so much for being here today. I want to commend the men and women at ICE for the work that you do, and President Trump for issuing that directive to get back to real enforcement of our immigration laws. And I want to thank you for your unwavering commitment to doing that and for coming to testify here today. Our borders are more secure than ever because of that leadership, and ICE is, I know, working tirelessly, putting lives on the line every single day to take, as you mentioned, the most dangerous criminals out of our communities every single day. And these are people who have entered our country illegally, breaking our laws. That mission does become significantly harder when local jurisdictions are not cooperating and instead are willfully choosing to put the safety and security of their communities at risk and the lives of your agents at risk as well. Sanctuary city policies not only undermine federal law enforcement, but they also create safe havens for bad actors. They obstruct access to critical data and information and disrupt efforts to dismantle the transnational criminal networks and the gangs that are exploiting our immigration system, endangering public safety, and continue to funnel illicit activity, drugs, fentanyl, and human trafficking into our communities. So what challenges, Acting Director, do you face when local jurisdictions refuse those detainer requests for your agents or are barring access to databases that could give you that critical information that you need to link to those criminal networks? Are there legacy programs or maybe even holdover administrative burdens that you recommend eliminating as a result of that?
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your respect for what the men and women of ICE do every day. They are true to the mission. They swore to serve, and they do put their lives on the line every day. So I appreciate you recognizing that. One thing about sanctuary cities is sanctuary city policies, while they're there to protect the migrant community, also puts communities at risk as well. It allows violent criminal aliens to go back into a setting that they were already removed from by a law enforcement agency. A law enforcement agency already deemed that individual a public safety threat and arrested them and put them in custody. What ICE would look for is to keep not only the community safe, but the officers and agents of ICE safe, is to work with sanctuary cities to take those individuals into custody in a secure location, one that it's not outside in the community, one where it doesn't put officers at risk, one where it doesn't put the actual criminal alien at risk. One of the things I would say about the lack of information sharing is under the previous administration, there were many individuals that were released into the United States without proper vetting. Without having access to systems like driver's license databases, registry of motor vehicles, to have police reports to know what these bad actors did in the past, it really hampers our ability to track and find these individuals. One thing that ICE is dedicated to, especially with the Department of Homeland Security, is tracking illicit drugs and fentanyl. When these drug dealers are allowed to get back in our community and we can't find them because a sanctuary policy blocks our ability to have that information and track these individuals, it's not making the community any safer. Right. These individuals are out there dealing illicit drugs, and it's hampering our ability.
Yeah, and I have no doubt that people have died because of those sanctuary city policies, and we need to do everything we can to protect American citizens. So again, thank you for that information, and please let us know if there are policies we need to be looking at changing to make sure that those folks are cooperating with you. I think Iowa is a good example of a state that I work with our local law enforcement, have those conversations, that good information sharing, and we want to make sure that's happening all over the country. I want to shift gears a little bit and highlight HSI's critical role in combating trade-based crimes. Many of those are driven by the Chinese Communist Party. Those include forced labor violations, IP theft, transshipment schemes that are really posing a direct threat to our American workers and our small businesses, devastating our American manufacturers and our supply chains here in the United States. What additional tools, personnel, or legal authorities does HSI need to more effectively, number one, investigate, but also to prosecute these trade-related violations that are, again, undermining our economy here in the United States?
Well, thank you, ma'am, for that question, and thank you for recognizing what HSI does. Homeland Security investigations is a key part to the Department of Homeland Security. It's instrumental to what ICE does for keeping this nation safe. While we have increased Title VIII civil immigration enforcement, we are extremely focused on threats outside our borders, especially from the People's Republic of China. And that is one thing that we would look for: more support in technology, more innovation to help us with these tools for these databases overseas, as well as more officers and intel agents and analysts that could work with us to really identify these foreign national threats that really are affecting our infrastructure. Because that's one key part that Homeland Security can do, is not only help protect outside the United States, but help key critical infrastructure and trade here in the United States and keep those secrets safe.
Well, we're certainly trying to work on that. I have a piece of legislation protecting American industry and labor from International Trade Crimes Act that would give your law enforcement partners a little bit more resource to be able to do that. So hopefully we can get that passed. And thank you so much, sir, for appearing before us today. Thank you, Mr.
Mayor. I
Chairman.
appreciate it.